Hi, everyone out there. Welcome back to Parental Vision Podcast. I'm your host, Tiana, and today's guest is Carlos Lark. Hi.
How's it going?
It's going pretty good. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming on the show.
I appreciate the opportunity to speak my truth.
And you know what? That's all we expect when people come on here. So, you know what? Lay it on me. Tell me a little about yourself.
Um, I'm 31. I'm
Mhm.
a single father. I'm taking care of a boy who's 2 years old, and it's been rocky. It's been very rocky for me,
Mhm.
and I've had a lot of hardship experiences that led me to this point.
Mhm.
And I say, as a father, I've done a lot of great accomplishments that I undermine
Mhm.
because I'm always aiming to be better every day. And in a way, I just want to express, my accomplishments to also make myself feel more validated as a person because I doubt myself a lot. We all have our doubts about ourselves.
Right.
And I also, I'm just looking for a way to make people understand me and see that I'm this shining light out here and I'm trying to be better for not only just my son but for society. I've always been into our people and the systematic results of our people
Mhm.
and cause and effect of everything.
Mhm.
So, I feel like this opportunity to speak my truth also expands in those areas. I'm not just trying to affect the life of my child and my family, but I want to affect the lives of others and give them a perspective that's genuinely uh how would I put it? A genuine perspective on how we can deal better with these circumstances that we don't address.
Mhm.
You know, myself, I'm becoming an entrepreneur.
Okay.
I'm I'm planning on also making my own podcast once I become certified as
Nice.
a trauma consultant.
Nice.
So I'm also doing a lot of things. I'm juggling a lot right now. I'm training currently for a life insurance agent, and I'm also planning on opening so many doors with that. So once I get that established, I can put things in place where I can put my podcast out, and then I
Mhm.
can also work on my music. I do music too. I'm
Oh,
multi-talented. I
really?
have
Okay.
a all-around plethora of abilities. Whatever field you put me in,
Uh-huh.
once you give me a book to study, I promise you the results later.
All right. That's good.
So overall, yeah, I'm just coming up here to talk about how I've experienced a lot of traumas with the court system and
Mhm.
with my son's mom and even with my daughter's mom that I haven't mentioned as well. I
Okay.
have a 6-year-old daughter as well. Um, that situation is more complicated, actually.
Okay.
Um, in a nutshell, I was basically uninvolved in her life due to someone else thinking they were the father. So,
Wow.
mom decided to go forth with marrying this person, and eventually the disagreements we had ended up resulting to me being cut off from my child, and she moved out of state.
Oh.
So I haven't seen my daughter in 3.5 years. Sorry,
No, no, it's
this is
okay. It's okay.
sensitive subject for me.
I understand. And I'm sorry as well. Take your time. Take your time.
I miss
Take a
my
second.
baby girl.
I understand. Take a second, breathe. It's okay.
Okay, but anyway, yeah, with that situation, it's a little complex.
Mm,
I wanted to be involved, but me and mom just couldn't get along,
mm,
and I wasn't in a financial stability to take care of my daughter,
mm.
so I had to let her go. And now I'm trying to do 10 times better for not just me, my son, but for her to be able to come back home to
Mhm.
daddy.
Right. I
I-
understand.
I'm trying to keep it together. Man, I haven't talked about her much because I try not to trigger the trauma.
But talking about it is gonna help. Holding things in, it doesn't make it any easier, any better. So it's okay. Talk.
But yeah, generally, I've been raised by a single mother,
Mhm.
and the results of my mindset is due to my upbringing.
Mhm.
So it's like seeing my mom struggle, seeing that my father, he knew where I was and he didn't push forth the effort to really be in my life.
Mhm.
I was forced to go see him in Virginia through my upbringing. And once the court orders were stopped,
Mhm.
it was like, where are you? You know, and it felt like he was just only being a part of my life because he was obligated.
I see what you mean.
So, in a nutshell, it's taken me some time to grow a wiser opinion about my father due
Mhm.
to getting more insight about him through
Mhm.
other people.
Yeah.
But I just really feel like he's an ancient guy, and excuse my language. He hasn't shown me any effort of wanting to be in my life without being forced. So it's like, I solidify my perspective due to that nature.
Mhm.
And I even reached out to him multiple times. I had to find his number through white pages. And
Wow.
yeah, and I found accurate numbers for him, and he
Mhm.
never answered a call or returned a text message or nothing. So it tells me, a confirmation of my perspective.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Mhm.
So, in a nutshell, as far as that go, it gave me inspiration to be a better father and be a better person than he can ever be.
Yeah.
That way, I'm breaking generational curses.
Yes.
And generational curses are not just a life experience, it's a DNA experience.
Definitely.
I do a lot of studying and researching on a daily basis of
Mhm.
holistic methods and modalities of meditation and
Mhm.
you know extensive supernatural stuff. So it gave me a very uh, overwhelming understanding of
Mhm.
what's going on in reality. To be
Right.
honest, because no, at this point you can't unlearn the knowledge, and now you have to be accountable for the knowledge that you obtain.
That's right. That's true.
So now that I know all of these things, I feel like it's an obligation to share it with the people around me and affect my economy,
Mhm.
because you are the environment that you make.
That's true.
So if I want to live around better people, if
Mhm.
I want the people that I encounter to be better for themselves, I have to be that example.
That's right.
And that's what I'm working on overall with my entire goal process.
Mhm.
I feel like the better financial stability I gain, I can open doors to help other people. But if I can't help me and mine, how am I helping other people?
That's true.
So becoming an entrepreneur was the best idea to me, because now you can open doors for multiple streams of revenue.
Mhm.
I'm into crypto, I'm into stocks, I'm into forex, I'm into all financial literacy aspects, tax
Really?
exemptions, I'm into it all. So that way I'll be able to share this information with other people who can apply it to their maximum capacity.
Mhm.
Because what I realized, the flaw to being a jack of all trades
Mhm.
is that you can't master them all. it's impossible to master them all.
Mhm.
So that's why we need delegation. So
Right.
then when I see people around my circle that I could delegate to, then I'm gonna put them in place to where we can really do business and start affecting the economy effectively. Just as much as this show is doing is it's actually one of my ideas that Steve beat me to, and I'm thankful just to be a part of the process and you know share my experience.
And we're grateful to have you. Absolutely. It sounds like you have a clear indication of the, direction that you want to go. So you seem like you have your head on straight. I think you're doing great. You're off to an amazing start. Do you, if you don't mind me asking, do you have like short term goals, long term goals? Do you journal? Because I know that definitely helps keep things aligned. Uh oh. Uh oh.
They're all right here on the wall.
Wait a minute, you do sticky notes on your wall as well? I do too. I do my
Yes,
affirmations and everything on the wall because I feel like if I write it down and I can visualize it, I can see it, I can definitely manifest it for it to come to life. So you know all about manifestation and all that and
yes,
quantum jumping and all that good stuff. So you're
absolutely.
tapped in.
Yes, you tapped all the way in.
This is
I
beautiful.
know
That made me so
exactly
happy.
that manifestation is the result of applied knowledge and belief.
Absolutely. Yes, it is. Oh
So
wow.
if you're not if it's like where I was explained this weird way that miracles happen,
Mm.
right?
Hmm.
And it corresponds directly to manifestation.
Yeah.
when when there's somebody who believes in their faith and their God
Hmm.
enough that prayer that they send is going to be absolute true without any if ands or buts or whatever, then that's where their miracle always happens because they go about the next day believing that they were answered, and that is an effective way to manipulate the universe.
Absolutely. That's exactly how you do it.
So that's what I'm into as well.
It's
Absolute
almost like
manifestation.
it's almost like what are they I was watching I think I want to say it was Joe Dispenza, but don't quote me. It might have been Neville Goddard or Joe Dispenza. You know who they are, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
I know exactly who he is.
Yeah, and they were talking about the Amazon method. It was almost like you have to treat your manifestations and your prayers like an Amazon package. So it's like when you put in an order for Amazon, you're not going to continuously go back and keep checking the tracking order unless it's necessarily the day of. But let's just take that part out of it. When you place an order for something, you're not going to continuously keep checking. So they said you put it out into the universe and then you go on about your business. Like with that
Mhm.
same knowledge and vortex vibration of it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. So once I got the hang of that, this even came about. Like this was pretty much one of my manifestations on my wall, and then I got the call from Steve.
That's beautiful.
To sit in one of your prayers is amazing.
Absolutely. And it's crazy that you said that because the first manifestation I obtained was a call from a very notable person named Billy Carson.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if you know who he is, but he owns Forbidden Knowledge TV.
Oh.
And he's a pillar in the podcast field and the science field. He's into history, science, quantum mechanics, all of that.
Oh
He's
wow.
basically my inspiration of why I started doing the things that I was doing
Hmm.
because one day I was watching Ancient Aliens, I believe, on the History Channel,
Hmm.
and this black guy is the one black guy that pops up out of all the scientists I've seen working on this show and the historians. I'm like, this the one black guy I've seen after all these seasons I've watched.
Right.
So I'm like, let me check this guy out. So then I find out he's into esoteric knowledge.
Hmm.
He's into the laws of attraction, and I'm like, who is this guy?
Right.
And he's not a billionaire. He's a millionaire,
Hmm.
and he's really out there right now.
Okay, I'm gonna look him
So
up.
I manifested a call from this guy directly.
No way.
I kid you not. I I entered a competition that he had called Forbidden Giveaways and everything,
Uh-huh.
impersonating him. He was looking for the best impersonation, right? And I was going to win it, except for this last minute contestant who just like shut me down. He made his video so thorough. I had to hand it to him like, dang man, you just came and scooped me off the map, son. But in long story short, I ended up contacting his director of operations, who is his fiance Elizabeth Hoekstra,
Mhm.
and even she agreed that I was going to win that competition if it wasn't for the last minute
Oh, wow.
submitted. So they decided to give me a call, and I had a personal situation going on at that time that they
Mhm.
would like to help me out with, and thankfully, they did. They helped me out with a little bit to get by from my situation, and I returned them in favor by buying shares of their company, and now I got a little bit of shares in their company, and when they go public, them shares are going to be pretty great.
Nice. That's awesome. That's dope. So,
Yeah.
if you don't mind me asking, let's talk about your son.
Yes, absolutely. My little guy. Oh, he's actually eating too. Oh man, I gotta get him out of that chair. He,
Okay.
he was eating. Can you give me just a moment?
Go ahead. By all means.
Thank
Go
you.
ahead.
Oh, you're not finished?
That's so cute.
Let me show my little guy Jai.
Let me see him. Let me see him.
Hey,
Oh my goodness.
you
Hi,
say
baby.
hi.
Hi. He's
You say
beautiful.
hi.
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 Hi. He's so cute. Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, do you have full custody of him?
I have primary.
You do.
Yes.
How did that come about, if you don't mind me asking?
Uh, so in back in October last year, I had just obtained my apartment, and then by the time December hit, me and his mom had a stop, Jay. Move this away so you won't press no buttons.
So
uh,
cute.
Me and his mom had a custody battle going on.
Hmm.
So back in December, sir, sir, I'm trying to speak here.
Oh my gosh, this is
He
very
doesn't
cute.
like attention over him. So he'll make noise and
Hmm.
disrupt everything in the way.
Yeah.
I studied him over time. I'm like, why does he do that every time I'm talking to someone?
Yeah, he
It's
wants
because he
daddy's
loves all the
attention.
attention.
Well, it's
Your
okay. It's
nose is
okay.
running. Let me get him settled in the other room and then I'll come back.
Take your time. It's fine. Listen, you're a parent.
Thank
I
you.
get it. God. Hmm.
Okay.
Alrighty. So
Where did we leave off?
you finished off with you said it back in December. His mom and yourself had a conversation, and then that was it. Like
Oh,
that's really quick.
custody battle.
Hmm.
Custody battle in court. Back on December 8th, 2020. 2022.
Hmm.
It's hard to talk about because I'm still amazed this happened.
Hmm.
The court awarded me primary custody due to mom's negligence of um, poor feeding habits and attention
Oh wow.
required,
Okay.
because those were my main concerns I brought forth to the court, and I had evidence of such. And
Really? Okay.
and mom also tried to lie to the courts. Caught in her lies. and everything. So the courts already deemed her to be like looking bad. So
Yeah.
the court ordered me primary custody in that moment, and
Mm.
she got so upset that she walked out of the courtroom. She said, "If y'all want to give him my son, he can have him. I relinquished my rights and walked out of the courtroom."
Are you
She said, "I don't
serious?
have time for this." And we were all in shock. Like
I'm in shock right now. Oh my gosh. Okay.
I'd never seen anyone do that. But after that happened,
Mhm.
mom didn't want to give me any of his belongings, so I had to buy everything brand new and get donations and stuff like that.
Oh my
And
gosh.
then, from time to time, we'll try to come back to good terms and everything, and we'll talk it out.
Mm,
And it's like we always bumped heads again, and she would just move differently.
mm,
So I kind of skipped over something here. To go back, mom disappeared for about 2 months because she was mad.
mm,
So she didn't want nothing to do with contacting me or helping at all. I
mm,
even tried to send her videos to, you know, show her her son,
mm.
and she said she didn't want to see them. And I understand she was just hurt,
Yeah.
because I didn't get with her, and she was a bad person or anything like that. It
Yeah.
was just we both made some decisions over time that we were resentful about,
Mhm.
and it ended up being too much tempers flared. So we took a break,
Mm,
and we tried to work things out, and in between such, you know this is back when the shoe was on the other foot.
mm,
I would do everything it takes to try to be there for my son.
mm,
You know, like financially and even physically,
mm,
I was trying to be there, and she still decided to go forth with the system instead of me being able to directly support him. And once that started,
mm.
now we're in the loophole of the rest of them. So now that the shoe is on the other foot, she's resentful about that.
Mm,
And I'm like, how could you be mad in any way when you disappeared on me
mm.
for 2 months?
Right.
I had to buy everything for him brand new, and my family thankfully were supportive.
Mm.
And you know, that's the main concern to this day of why things are not working out between us. She says, "You need to take me off of child support in order for us to work things out."
So
And
you
I'm like,
have her on child support.
"Yeah."
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, now we had court earlier today. Now she decides that she wants to be more involved, and
Mm,
I don't want her to be looked at as a bad person because she
mhm,
really is a wonderful woman. I believe in that light that she has.
mhm,
She just lets the shadow override her sometimes.
mhm,
And you know, I've always been a positive intention person.
mhm.
I just don't like when people trigger me or keep pushing me past my limits. So that's when, I honestly I'm gonna get out of character if I'm being pushed around, because
Right.
don't nobody want to be a pushover.
Absolutely not.
And she likes to, trigger me in the ways that she knows. And if it wasn't for that, we would be able to work things out. So this morning, we had court. She decided to add visitation to her schedule. So she's doing better as far as
That's good.
consistency ever since the results.
Mhm.
Um,
That's progress. That's good.
and she's the only thing is she's just not. supporting financially enough as much as I would do for it on the other way around.
Mhm.
She just sent me through Cash App a couple of dollars, and I'm like, I've seen you spend hundreds of dollars on hair and stuff like that, but
Mhm.
$22 or something like that here and there is supposed to be sufficient, you know.
Mhm.
So in that aspect, that's where I feel like this is where the standing point should be put on the forefront.
Right.
Like what's your priority with your financial decision making
Mhm.
when it comes to a child?
Right.
Because you know if even if it's my birthday, if my son doesn't have certain things,
Mhm.
I'm gonna go spend on him. For my birthday, I'd rather give him a birthday present.
Absolutely. Yeah, you always do for your kids before you do for you. That's standard when you become a parent. And if anybody can't understand that, then they don't need to be one, unfortunately, to say.
So this is the trauma between us right now. That's why we differ so much. I'm like, you're not prioritizing to me fully being a mother, and I
Mhm.
know you love your son
Right,
and
right.
you really want to be in his life and everything, but you can't pick and choose when you want to do that.
How has that affected your son? I was going to ask you beforehand the transition from you getting full custody to him not being with her. Like, was it
It,
difficult for him? Like,
it was at first it was a little difficult for him to really start seeing that this was his new home.
mm-hmm,
He expected to see mommy again and everything, and I could tell just by the way he was acting that he missed his mother. Like he was being very rebellious and
right.
everything, and crying often. So he really was hurt, and I was hurt for him because I wanted her to be there all the time.
Mm-hmm,
In a nutshell, I wanted to marry this person. I didn't even want to have a child with another person without being married or looking forward to marriage.
right.
But um, due to complications of when he first arrived, me and her couldn't work it out. And I think it was just more of like us both being too frustrated with the financials. If it wasn't for like our financial burdens and everything, I honestly think we could have worked it out because
Yeah,
most of the time with relationships it is the financial part,
yeah.
or it'll be the little nitpicky things that's
Mm-hmm,
going on in a relationship.
right.
So I feel like I got a little bit too much off subject pertaining to certain things, but I really in a nutshell wanted to talk about how I started processing things differently and on a maximum level in my perspective,
Mm-hmm,
because it took me you know only a month or two to readjust to having him full time, and getting things done was a priority. So as I was going by my days and everything, I felt like I was advancing my learning from all these experiences more than you know the average person, because on a daily basis I started asking myself, what am I doing wrong? What am I not applying myself to? What could I do better next time with that person? Or like anything that I can fix. I started going on a rampage of get it done now, no hesitation. And it started bringing me to a maximum level of focus and response to my situation, like especially with my son. He does test me sometimes to where I feel like you know I gotta just get away from him for a little bit. And
Decompress. Yeah.
yeah, someone's usually comes to get him on occasion if I feel too overwhelmed. But other than that, I catch myself in every moment, even if I know I'm frustrated. I'm asking myself the five W's, which is going to be what my podcast is going to be about. it's going to be about applying the 5 W's on a more critique level. So if we're not using the 5 W's, we can't analyze life.
Mhm.
So I feel like we undermine the power behind that. You know, i- if you have a laptop, do you know who made it? Do you know how it was created?
Mm.
Do you know who, what, where, when, why, how of everything about this laptop? Do
Mhm.
you know what software applies to it? Do you know what's the material to the keys? I started seeing things in that analytical aspect, and I'm
Yeah.
like, so the road is never done in the learning process. And to get people to go back to focusing on self-awareness and learning
Right.
step-by-step
Mhm.
processes,
Mhm.
that's going to readjust our focus span and mindset back out of the fight or flight mode, because the fight or flight mode keeps you in illogical decision making.
It definitely does.
And to go back to self-awareness and self-preservation will
Mhm.
be key to adjusting trauma, especially in high poverty areas.
I agree. 100%. I do. Okay. I literally
I see the 5 E's.
enjoyed this interview. I really did. I wish we can have a follow-up part 2 because I know you have a lot you want to say. But
Yeah, I wanted to stay a little bit more on point with my answers and everything, but I just had so much going through my head that
no,
I
it's
deterred
okay.
off. But I'm open to express myself up here.
Absolutely. I'm happy. It was definitely a fulfilling interview. I gained a little bit more knowledge. I'm definitely going to look up that gentleman Billy Carlson.
Billy Carson.
Yeah, Billy Carlson. I'm going to look him up actually. So thank you so much for your time. I promise I will make sure I ask the producers if we can get a part 2. But
Yeah, absolutely.
before I let you go, I want to tell you that you're doing an amazing job. Okay? And be kind to yourself. Be
Thank you.
patient with yourself. Okay? You're doing just fine and you're in the right place at the right time. I believe that the higher power makes no mistakes and there's a reason for everything. So you keep striving to be the best man you can be, the best father you can be, and we here at Parental Vision Podcast, we're rooting for you. Okay?
Thank you very much. I
You're
very
very
much appreciate it.
welcome. And hopefully I get to talk to you again soon.
It was a pleasure. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. That's a wrap for today's episode for Parental Vision Podcast. Once again, I'm Tiana. Take care. Bye bye.